Hello everybody. If you made it this far, that means you have completed making your text and extruding that into the model. Also, you have created your tool for your tool library to start camming. So now let's get into it. So we will be using this model still from the first project. If you remember, we did all of these operations on the top side. So what we can do now, remember we put the engravings on the back side. So we will have to make a new setup. So we will start with selecting our machine, make sure we're under milling, select our work coordinates. So make sure our Z is pointing up, select our 0, our origin, select this upper left hand corner, and select the model. Let's go to the next tab. I'm gonna do a relative size box. I'm gonna hit 0 because all of this has been machined already, and I'm gonna hit 0.005. This is for illustration purposes, and I'm gonna select 2 so I can go to the next work coordinate. If you leave this alone, it will default to G54. When you type in 2, it will default to G55. So it helps keep the other work coordinate independent to this one in case you need to make any adjustments. You can hit OK. So we have our second setup here. Uh, so we can go under 2D milling, select engrave, and select under tool, go to VF2 or whatever you put your tool. So I'm gonna select the previously made tool for engraving plastics. Remember how I put those notes in there so you can see that, and hit select. So now it auto populates everything that we inputted as we defined our tool. Our coolant, so it's gonna default every single time we select that tool to air through tool, spindle speed, surface speed, ramp spindle speed, our feed rate. In case you wanna use a specific tool for different materials, just you could duplicate a tool and change some of these things. So this would work. This tool would work on both plastic and aluminums, but their speeds and feeds would be different. So we have our tool selected. Go to our next tab and select our contour, our geometry, and got all of this. I'm gonna select all of this. And I got that selected. By any chance, if you click the bottom, it might try to mill to the bottom in that pocket. If you don't recall, in our extrusion, we made this 0.1, but we can only cut 0.015 with this tool. So we will be, if you want to unselect this, you right click, left click it, and hit trash, and it deselects that for you. There isn't much for us to look into here, so we can hit OK, yes. And to verify if it is physically possible for this tool to make your engraving, you want to turn on your stock and hit simulate. So you can see it's making it. If you remember, we made 2 different size text for this reason. As you can see, it can physically make this one. So let's go to the next one. So this first one was a 1/4 inch. This is an 1/8 of an inch. So we can go back to 2D milling, engrave. We've got the same tool selected, so we just have to select our geometry again. Let me see what I clicked on there. See, I clicked on that bottom again. It's so easy to click on the wrong spot there. So just be mindful where you're clicking and hit this. And that is it. We have our geometry selected. You always want to hit yes. Well, you don't. You want to make sure you're taking a look at what it's saying. And let's simulate this. Hit play. And you will notice it's getting through most of this. But there are some small points that it can't get. It's just not possible for this tool sometimes. So the simulation's very handy when doing text because it will save you the heartache of setting up the machine, doing the camming, just to find out that you have scribble. So that is the reason why, one, you want to make sure you have the right size text selected, and two, verify whether or not if it is possible for this tool to make that text for you. So I will delete this one, hit delete, yes. Final thing to take a look at is in your post to see if, just to make sure that that tool isn't gonna just jam that tool into your material. Remember, the tip of this tool is 0.015. So if you see a negative 0.1, you know something's wrong. So you can see our Z's are about negative 0.0197. Ideally, you don't want to go deeper than negative 0.015. That extra 5 thousandths is, if you can remember, I added that extra stock for illustration purposes. And yes, I don't see any crazy numbers. And yeah, this looks like it will work. And that is it.